Toby and Dino, Adventures Through Time. Chapter 1. The Mysterious Egg. Toby was an ordinary boy living in the small town of Oakville. He loved exploring the nearby forest, collecting rocks, and imagining grand adventures. His room was filled with jars of shiny pebbles, pine cones and twigs, each labelled with the date and place he found them. But nothing in his wildest dreams could have prepared him for what he discovered one sunny afternoon. It all started when Toby was wandering through the woods, looking for interesting rocks to add to his collection. The air was filled with the scent of pine, and sunlight filtered through the tall trees, casting dancing shadows on the ground. As he climbed over a fallen tree, he spotted something unusual in the grass. It was a large, shiny egg with colourful patterns swirling across its surface, glinting like a treasure hidden by time. "Whoa!" Toby whispered, kneeling down to examine it. The egg was warm to the touch and slightly wobbled when he tapped it. He could feel a faint vibration, like something was alive inside. Excited by his discovery, he carefully picked it up, cradling it in his arms, and carried it home. The walk back home felt longer than usual as Toby's mind raced with curiosity. Every step made him more eager to figure out what creature could be inside the egg. Was it a bird, a lizard, or something even more incredible? He had to know. When Toby got home, he placed the egg on his desk, pushing aside his rock collection to make room. He sat staring at it, wondering what kind of creature could be inside. Suddenly the egg began to shake and cracks appeared on its surface, spreading like spiderwebs. "Oh no! It's hatching!" Toby exclaimed, his heart pounding with excitement. The egg split open with a loud crack, and out tumbled a small scaly creature with bright green skin and big, curious eyes. It blinked up at him and let out a chirping sound that reminded Toby of a baby bird. "A dinosaur!" Toby gasped, unable to believe his eyes. The creature was no bigger than a puppy, with tiny claws, a long tail, and a row of soft, bumpy scales running down its back. Its eyes gleamed with intelligence, and it waddled toward Toby on its hind legs, chirping softly. The tiny dinosaur tilted its head, studying Toby with equal curiosity. "You're a baby dinosaur," Toby said in awe, crouching down to get a better look. "I think I'll call you Dino." Dino chirped happily, his tail wagging like a dog's. Toby knew at that moment they were going to be best friends. Chapter 2. Keeping a Secret. Toby quickly realised that having a dinosaur as a pet was going to be tricky. He couldn't exactly tell his parents or friends about Dino. Who would believe him? Plus, he had to keep Dino safe from anyone who might want to take him away. "You have to stay hidden," Toby told Dino, "at least until I figure out what to do." Dino seemed to understand. He followed Toby around the house, staying out of sight whenever someone walked by. Toby set up a cosy spot for Dino in his closet, complete with blankets and a box of snacks. He even hung a sign on the door that read, "Keep out! Top secret project inside." At night, Dino curled up on Toby's bed, snoring softly. Toby smiled as he drifted off to sleep, dreaming of the adventures they would have together. He imagined riding through jungles, exploring ancient ruins, and meeting other dinosaurs. The days that followed were a whirlwind of excitement and nerves. Toby spent every spare moment with Dino, teaching him simple tricks like fetching a ball or sitting on command. Dino learned quickly, and Toby marvelled at how clever his little dinosaur was. But keeping Dino hidden wasn't always easy. One day, Toby's mom knocked on his door while he was playing with Dino. "Toby, is everything all right in there? I thought I heard a strange noise." Yeah, everything's fine, Mom," Toby called back, quickly stuffing Dino under the bed. Dino let out a muffled chirp and Toby whispered, "Shh." After his mum left, Toby let out a sigh of relief. "That was close," he said, patting Dino on the head. "We have to be more careful." Dino nodded, as if he understood. Chapter 3. The First Adventure. One morning, Toby woke up to find Dino tugging on his sleeve, chirping excitedly. "What is it, Dino?" Toby asked, rubbing his eyes. Dino trotted over to the window and scratched at the glass, his tail swishing with excitement. Curious, Toby opened the window and Dino jumped out, landing gracefully on the lawn. "Wait for me!" Toby called, scrambling to get dressed before following Dino outside. Dino led Toby to the forest, weaving through the trees with surprising speed. The morning sun cast long shadows, and the air was filled with the songs of birds and the rustling of leaves. Toby struggled to keep up, but he trusted Dino to lead him somewhere important. After a while, they reached a clearing where an ancient stone circle stood, its weathered stones towering like silent sentinels from a forgotten era. Each rock was covered in intricate carvings that shimmered faintly in the dappled sunlight, depicting swirling patterns and strange creatures that seemed to watch them. The air around the circle felt charged with energy, and a gentle hum vibrated through the ground. Wildflowers sprouted in the cracks between the stones, their petals glowing with an ethereal light, adding an air of mystery and wonder to the scene. Moss-covered runes on the stones seemed to pulse with a rhythmic glow, matching the beat of Toby's heart. He stepped closer, feeling drawn to the centre of the circle. In the middle, a shimmering portal appeared, its surface rippling like liquid glass. "What is that?" Toby whispered, amazed. Dino chirped and nudged Toby toward the portal, his eyes sparkling with excitement. "You want me to go through it?" Toby asked. Dino nodded enthusiastically, his tail wagging. Taking a deep breath, Toby stepped into the portal, with Dino right behind him. In a flash of light, they were transported to a strange new world. Chapter 4. The Prehistoric World. Toby and Dino found themselves in a lush jungle filled with towering trees and strange plants. The air was thick and humid, and the sounds of distant roars and chirps echoed through the forest. Enormous ferns brushed against Toby's arms, and colourful flowers bloomed in every direction. "We're in the past," Toby realised, his eyes wide with wonder. "This must be the age of dinosaurs." Dino chirped happily and ran ahead, clearly at home in this world. Toby followed, marvelling at the sights around him. They saw herds of triceratops grazing on ferns, pterosaurs soaring through the sky, and even a massive brachiosaurus stretching its long neck to reach the leaves of the tallest trees. Suddenly a loud roar shook the ground, and Toby turned to see a fierce Tyrannosaurus Rex stomping toward them. "Run!" Toby shouted, grabbing Dino and sprinting away. They dodged between trees and jumped over fallen logs with the T-Rex hot on their heels. Just when it seemed like they were about to be caught, Dino led Toby into a narrow cave. The T-Rex couldn't fit inside, and after a few minutes, it stomped away in frustration. "That was close," Toby panted, leaning against the cave wall. "Thanks, Dino. You saved us." Dino chirped proudly, puffing out his chest. Together they gazed out at the prehistoric world, ready to explore more adventures. Chapter 5. The Jungle's Secret. After catching their breath, Toby and Dino ventured out of the cave, their curiosity pulling them deeper into the prehistoric jungle. The air was thick with the scent of flowers and damp earth, and strange creatures scurried past them, blending into the dense foliage. As they walked, they came upon a shimmering river that twisted through the trees like a silver ribbon. Giant dragonflies buzzed above the water, their wings catching the sunlight in a dazzling display of colour. Dino chirped excitedly and dipped his claws into the cool water, splashing playfully. Toby laughed and joined in, feeling a sense of freedom he'd never experienced before. "This place is incredible," Toby said, gazing around in wonder. "It's like stepping into a storybook." Suddenly, a distant rumble caught their attention. The ground shook slightly and birds took to the sky, squawking in alarm. "What now?" Toby wondered aloud, looking around nervously. From the shadows of the jungle, a herd of stegosauruses emerged, their spiked tails swinging as they lumbered toward the river. The creatures were enormous, their backs adorned with towering plates that glowed faintly in the sunlight. Toby and Dino watched in awe as the gentle giants drank from the river, their movements slow and deliberate. One of the stegosauruses noticed them and let out a low, rumbling call. To Toby's surprise, it wasn't a warning. It was a greeting. "I think they like us," Toby whispered, grinning at Dino. Dino chirped in agreement, his tail wagging with excitement. They had made their first prehistoric friends, but their peaceful moment was interrupted by a loud crash from the forest. Toby turned to see a pack of velociraptors emerging from the trees, their sharp claws gleaming and eyes locked on the stegosauruses. "We have to help them!" Toby shouted, his heart racing. Dino let out a fierce growl and charged toward the velociraptors, surprising Toby with his bravery. The stegosauruses formed a protective circle around their young, but they needed more help. Toby grabbed a thick branch from the ground and ran after Dino, determined to protect their new friends. Together, boy and dinosaur faced the predators, ready for the challenge ahead.